In the heart of the Kansai region, Kyoto was the capital and religious center of the country for more than 1,000 years. The patrimony is remarkably well preserved, for the city was spared the bombings of the Second World War. In the old quarters, the houses are made of the traditional wood. Several houses are grouped around a single entrance, for in the old system, property taxes were calculated not according to the building's surface area, but according to the width of the facade. Traditional neighborhood, traditional encounters.
My name is Aya.
Kyoto is home to a good number of temples. The curved roof is one of the characteristics of traditional Japanese architecture, both religious and secular. The form can be simple or more elaborate. Kyoto's most famous temple is the Kinkakuji. It's known as the Golden Pavilion, for it is covered in gold leaf. Built at the end of the 14th century, it was originally the home of a general, a shogun. A monk burned it down because he couldn't bear its beauty. The temple is surrounded by a garden laid out by a Zen Buddhist monk, where there is a stand of giant bamboos. The gardeners tried to outdo each other in creativity when they designed the surroundings of the temples. To reach some of the temples, one must take the path of philosophy, which winds through the undergrowth. It's called that because the monks would come here to meditate. An imposing torii rises up near the Heian Jingu shrine. The building is a smaller copy of the first imperial palace, which used to be on this site. Kyoto's first emperor reigned at the end of the 8th century, and the city remained the capital of Japan until the 19th century. The Emperor Kanmu had Kyoto laid out in a grid pattern with wide avenues, after the model of the Chinese capitals. In the old quarter of Gion, the names of the streets are embedded in the sidewalks. Many women wear kimonos in Kyoto. It's a way of showing their attachment to the traditions. And one of those traditions is the tea ceremony, which has its origins in Zen Buddhism. The stimulants in the tea allowed the monks to stay awake and meditate longer. First, one has a piece of pastry, for the tea is bitter, and the guest must rotate the bowl 3 times before drinking.
The importance of tea for the Japanese? It's part of our daily life, like our meals.
In Japan, the boundary between one religion and another is not very strict. A person may be born Shintoist and die Buddhist. The rituals of the 2 religions can even mix. They buy incense sticks to purify themselves. The gestures are the same as if one were washing with water. Zen Buddhism is based on meditation, and the Zen garden is the ideal atmosphere for it. The tenets of Zen Buddhism are surprisingly modern. So, on the roof of the Kyoto train station, we find a Zen space placed above a buzzing hive of activity. The building was the subject of heated controversy when it was first opened: how to reconcile tradition and progress, a question that the city was already asking itself in 1964 when it decided to build this futuristic metallic tower. The Japanese have learned that to keep control of the future, it is important not to neglect the human dimension. a martial art practiced by women. Judo, traditional Japanese archery, which demands a good deal of self-control.
They like to away from the society of Japan because in the society of Japan, most of the people are very strong under the pressure. They like to be away from that to practice Judo, and they are able to look at themselves as a human being.
Judo, which comes from China, uses a bow more than 2 meters long. It is painstakingly assembled from strips of bamboo. Bamboo is the ideal material for the bow, but it is very sensitive, not your ordinary material.
It's made of bamboo and wood. The bamboo is a very special material for us. I think Westerners' point of view, they think sometimes the bamboo is a kind of wood. But for us, Japanese people, the bamboo is very special kind of a material. That's why, for our point of view, bamboo is bamboo. It's not kind of wood.
Judo is a Zen discipline because it also teaches self-awareness. Placement, breathing, concentration. They say that the target is hit even before the arrow is released. Here they're getting ready for the Jidai Matsuri, one of the 3 most important festivals of Kyoto. It has been taking place every autumn since 1895. The event was founded to commemorate the 1100th anniversary of the founding of Kyoto as Japan's imperial capital. It's also called the Festival of Ages. The participants don costumes from different periods going back to the 8th century. The procession assembles in front of the emperor's palace. The different periods take their places for the grand parade that is the highlight of the festival. A few beauty queens from abroad give the event an international touch. And the Japanese always look up to tall people. Normally, blonde hair is extremely rare in Japan. But there can be the odd exception. The festival also offers a complete panorama of hats and headpieces, according to the age, the social standing, the profession, the region, and the period. But neither the exotic headpiece, nor the hat, nor the kepi can compare to the helmet of the samurai in full dress. Reinforced protection, but easy on the feet. The parade gets underway, and it's the history of Japan passing in review.